The Gangga Malayu puzzle gives a good example of a writing system known as an abugida, which means one where the major symbols represent the consonants in a word, and there are little twists and twiggles on the ends of those major symbols which represent the vowels. Let's have a look at the data. So you can see from the fact that there are usually only 3 or 4 major symbols on the left, but often 6 or 7 or 8 letters in the words on the right, that we're probably not dealing with a system where one symbol represents one individual sound. And if you look through the symbols and look through the words that they represent, you'll notice that some symbols always go with certain consonants. So you have this one, which looks a bit like a bed on the side, which represents n, the N sound. In the first case, it's na. In the second case, it's nu, and then it's na again. And there's one other little case which is worth looking at. When you have this full dot underneath the symbol, you'll notice that it's N, but without a vowel after it. Keep that in mind for the moment. You'll see a couple of other examples of that in the first 2 words. You'll notice that the last symbol there has the dot underneath it, the full dot, and those words end in consonants, senam and epoch. All right, so that's a good place to start. If you look through all the other words, it's fairly straightforward to discover what each symbol represents. The sideways S represents an M. The one that looks like a 4 represents a P sound, the P. And there are a couple of little mysteries which we'll clear up now. This one has the dot on the bottom. And if you look at the end of the word that's third from the top, you'll see it's menung. It's an NG sound. Don't be fooled by the fact that that's 2 consonants. NG is basically one sound. And down the bottom with that word sangka, again you see it's the sound and the dot on the bottom to show that there's no vowel after it. Now this one. This is a little bit more complicated because you'll notice that there's no consonants involved with this and also no real similarity. Sometimes it's E, sometimes it's I, sometimes it's A. But it makes sense if we think that this is the symbol for a vowel sound without a consonant before it. So in all the other syllables, you have a consonant and then a vowel, but this one occurs when there's a vowel at the beginning of the syllable, epoch or ia, as we can see here. All right, now let's look at the first part of this puzzle, which is which vowels are represented in the same way. So here you can see there's the circle on the top, and the word is sena maki. So in the first case, the circle represents the e sound, and in the second case it represents the I sound. And if you look through the other words, you'll find that that's fairly common. Then there's this one, the little chevron underneath. In the first case, that's epoch, and it's representing an O sound, but in the second word it's menung, and it's representing an U sound. Again, if you look through the rest, you'll find that that works. The last one's a bit trickier though. And this is the case where the consonant symbol doesn't have any symbol attached to it. Now you would expect that this meant just that consonant sound on its own. But in most of these abugidas, the single consonant symbol actually means the consonant plus an a. And we'll see that that's the case here as well. But if we look at this first word, sunam, also you have the sound. That's a schwa, by the way, the little unstressed And that also is represented by just the consonant symbol on its own. Okay, so those are our 3 pairs of vowels that are represented the same way. Now looking at these, if we apply the rules that we've seen, for this first one we come across orangutan, orangutan, nice and easy. The second one is either imam or imam, and in the data you were told that one of the words comes from Arabic. This is imam, a Muslim holy man. Then we've got Rusiya, and again in the information you were told one of them was the name of a country. This is Russia. The last one you have to be a little bit more imaginative. This is pru or pro, pi or pe, so or su, and then Professor. It's professor.